So we've got to talk about something actually pretty darn major because Uncle Trump has officially had enough. He's had enough, and this is going to be absolutely massive, and it's something that I've been talking about for quite a while now, and that is getting the RINOs out of the party. Uncle Trump has had enough, and I want to play this clip because he was called on a hot mic saying something that was quite interesting, and I want you guys to hear it. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Hey, Jeff, you agree with me on blue stuff? You know I cannot appoint anybody. Huh? I can't appoint anybody. Everybody I've appointed, their time is expired. And then they're in default. And then we're losing cases because the judge says
So I know that was a little bit hard to hear, but I wanna read exactly what he said. So he said, "I can't appoint anybody. Everybody I've appointed has had their time expire, and then they're in default. Then we're losing." And he's talking about his appointments, one specifically being Alina Habba, and he's ranting on Senate Republicans dragging their feet or simply allowing Democrats to block his appointments. And, you know, I talked about this the other day because I saw a report that John Thune had put forth a motion to, like, push through, like, a mass number of Trump appointees all at once rather than doing one by one by one by one. And it's like, bro, why didn't you do that months ago? Why wasn't this done? I mean, this could have been done months and months and months ago. Now you want to propose this, and it hasn't happened yet anyway, but I'm sick of it, and so is Uncle Trump, and so you heard a little bit of that there, which I'm sure he knew the mics were around, so I think that was a warning shot, you know, like he's letting them know, hey, I'm watching you now. Now, I want to get into something else that he recently said when he was asked a question. Check it out.
As U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey after the courts disqualified her. Do you have any comment on that?
well, she's not disqualified. You've got a blue slip thing that's horrible. It's a horrible thing. It makes it impossible to appoint a judge or a U.S. attorney, and it's a shame. And the Republicans should be ashamed of themselves that they allow this to go on, because I can't appoint a U.S. attorney that's not a Democrat, because they put a block on it. So if you appoint in Virginia or in New Jersey or in California a U.S. attorney or a judge, I mean, a judge situation is ridiculous. The only people that you can get by are Democrats, because they will put a hold on it. If I put up George Washington and Abraham Lincoln to be U.S. attorney in New Jersey or to be U.S. attorney in Virginia, we have Democrat senators, they will not approve them. And this is a gentleman's agreement that's lasted for too long, and it doesn't make it, especially in light of what's going on today. It means you can't appoint a Republican U.S. attorney, and we don't play the same game with them, but they do.
That's facts.
And I hope that somebody speaks to Senator Grassley about doing something about the blue slip, because I'm telling you, John, I put up great people, top people, highest education, the best lawyers to be like U.S. attorney, and both senators, it only takes one, but if they're Democrat senators, they say, we're not going to approve it. I had a couple of them say, why don't you appoint Democrats? All because Senator Grassley, with his blue slip stuff, will not let anybody go by. By the way, the Democrats have violated the blue slip provision on numerous occasions, but we don't do it. And what it means is, I guess I just have to keep appointing people for 3 months and then just appoint another one. And it's a very sad situation. We're losing a lot of great people. We have about 7 U.S. attorneys who are not going to be able to keep their jobs much longer because of the blue slip. Because unless, I think I know why they did that, to protect their ass. Okay, that's why they did that. But it should be done away with. I want to be able to appoint the most highly educated, the most respected people. They can't keep their jobs because of the blue slips. Terrible.
Now, when I first came across this, I had no clue what the blue slips are or were that he was speaking of. And so I want to read this because I started doing a little bit of digging to try to figure out, like, what the hell is blue slips? Okay, so I want to read this from Insurrection Barbie. The single stupidest rule in the Senate is blue slip rules. This archaic rule originated in 1917 as an advisory role that now serves to only allow for partisan time wasting. It became more than advisory during the Civil Rights era, where Democrats used blue slip laws to make sure the segregationists' interests were protected during Jim Crow. Now, with Trump back in office, Democratic senators in blue states like New Jersey and Virginia are withholding slips to block loyalists like Alina Habba and Lindsey Halligan, forcing short-term acting appointments that expire after 120 days. This led to a federal judge dismissing indictments against James Comey and Letitia James on technicalities, as Halligan's interim role was ruled invalid. While Republicans play nice, arguing it prevents cracking down on crime in liberal strongholds, that is a lie. Biden was able to go around this to get circuit court judges and presidents can fire U.S. attorneys at will at the start of a new term. Why the hell are Republicans in the Senate allowing this to continue? The reason Letitia James and Comey will walk is because of these blue slip laws. It's insanity. So basically, a senator can withhold their blue slip and basically kind of block any of Trump's appointments in blue states. So he'll never be able to appoint anybody in any single blue state. And Chuck Grassley is the individual that can end this, but he won't. Yeah, Chuck Grassley, you are now, matter of fact, I want to see, what is Chuck Grassley's Liberty score? I think I can guess what it is, but is he not on here? I'm trying to pull up his Liberty score here, but it's looking like he's not even there. Wait, his name Charles? Yeah, there we go. I'm stupid for that. Oh, what do you know? He has an F. Are we shocked? Absolutely not. You know who else has an F, though? The guy that I've been talking about for quite some time now, that I absolutely despise. What do you know? Leader of the Republican Party in the Senate with an F score, barely above 50%. Barely above 50. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. Sick of these clowns. You know who else has an F? You know, Susan Collins, but it's probably going to be difficult to get rid of Susan Collins because she's from Maine. That one's going to be difficult. But Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, what are y'all doing? Alaska, come on now. Come on now, Alaska. Mike Lee is at the top. Marsha Blackburn, Rand Paul, although I'm not really the biggest fan of Rand Paul. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Rand Paul. Y'all let me know if you are in the comments. Tommy Tuberville, Cynthia Loomis, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Ted Cruz, although Ted Cruz, he's a little questionable too, in my humble opinion. Josh Hawley's up there. So you got some folks up there, but for the most part, our Senate is like sea level and below, which is a shame. It's an absolute shame. Now, let's hop back into the meat and potatoes of this, because I want to play this clip from Chuck Grassley, because this isn't the first time that Uncle Trump has called out Chuck Grassley, and Grassley responded not too long ago. Check it out.
Last night, I was surprised to see President Trump on Truth Social go after me and Senate Republicans over what we call the blue slip. Now, the people in the real America, not here in this Washington, D.C. and Island Surround Bar.
I want you guys to take note. He's not actually speaking himself. He's reading something off of a paper that his assistants probably prepared for him. That lets you know how much of a snake this guy actually is. This is like Democrat level stuff right here. Why are you sitting here reading off of a paper if you're so offended? Just talk. Why you need to read that? Does anybody else find that weird? Why are you reading this?
Now, the people in the real America, not here in this Washington, D.C. and island surrounded by reality, the people in real America don't care about what the blue slip is, but in fact, it impacts in their states the district judges who serve their communities and the U.S. attorneys who ensure the law and order is enforced. I was offended by what the president said, and I'm disappointed that it would result in personal insults. Now, we're here to do business. That's a very important part of this committee's work, to do our constitutional duties of reviewing people that require Senate confirmation. Good morning.
I was very offended at Trump issuing personal attacks. This is unacceptable. Like, bro, who wrote that for you? What a snake. What a useless, wasteless, pathetic sack of skin. You know, like, come on, bro. Really? Really? Where's Chuck Grassley from? Where is he from? Hold on, let me pull this up really quick. I want to see where he's from. Iowa. I'm gonna need y'all to do something about this, brother. Okay? Vote this mother lover out. Vote him out, please. Now, should I get into... So, like I said before, Trump has talked about the blue slips before. He's called out Senator Chuck Grassley before. This is from August, back in August. I have a constitutional right to appoint judges and U.S. attorneys, but that right has been completely taken away from me in states that have just one Democrat United States Senator. This is because of an old, outdated custom known as a blue slip that Senator Chuck Grassley of the great state of Iowa refuses to overturn, even though the Democrats, including Crooked Joe Biden, twice have done so on numerous occasions. So Democrats have done it, but Chuck Grassley, for whatever reason, isn't willing to do it. Now, I say Trump has had enough because Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, I believe that's how you say her name, recently went on a show, and this is what she had to say.
He's going to have a fun next year, but we're going to put him on the campaign trail too. Typically, just a little bit of campaign speak, if I may.
Yeah.
Typically, in the midterms, it's not about who's sitting at the White House. It's you localize the election.
Right.
And you keep the federal officials out of it. We're actually going to turn that on its head.
Good.
And put him on the ballot because so many of those low propensity voters are Trump voters.
Yes, they are.
And we saw a week ago Tuesday what happens when he's not on the ballot and not active. So I haven't quite broken it to him yet, but he's going to campaign like it's 2024 again.
Oh.
For all these people that he helps. He doesn't help everybody, but for those he does, he's a difference maker. And he's certainly a turnout machine. So the midterms will be very important to us. He'll work very hard to keep the majority.
Yeah, we can't afford to have this stalled.
No.
And one of the things I keep telling people, and I'm sure we're going to talk politics. I got to talk this. I am so frustrated with all of the people that gave abundantly to organizations like ours and others over the last 4 years to make sure that we won. And our objective was threefold. We didn't just want the presidency. We wanted the House. We wanted the Senate. And we were very strategic on where we went, how we focused to get those moms out. And now it's like they're all sitting on their laurels and going, oh, we're good. I'm like, I don't think you realize how good we aren't. Yeah. And this with swipe of a pen and one election can change everything.
And the majorities in both houses.
Yes,
right.
They are.
This is a good Senate year for Republicans. Every 2 years is what it is for House members. So there's candidate recruitment. The president started raising money for the midterms the day after the election. Good. And he's sitting on a huge war chest to help these people. And he'll use it, and he'll use himself, and he'll use his money that he's raised, probably his money too, and nobody can outwork him. So there's every reason to be confident, but we have to actually get it done. Yeah.
So, yeah, not only is Trump calling them out publicly, but apparently he's going out on the campaign trail. And I can almost guarantee you that he's going to be campaigning for their primary opponents. 100%. It is coming. It is here, and it's about to be phenomenal next year watching it all happen because, boy, I cannot wait to get rid of people like John Thune. Actually, no, Chuck Grassley, he just won his election, so he's not up for re-election for quite a while, it seems. Let's see. I want to see who is up for re-election here soon. Okay, so it looks like, okay, John Cornyn, which John Cornyn is already losing to Ken Paxton in Texas in the primary polls. So that is phenomenal news. Phenomenal news. As a matter of fact, I think I have that poll somewhere. One of these tabs. Oh, here we go. Right here. So Texas Senate GOP primary poll, you got Ken Paxton 29%, Wesley Hunt at 24%, and John Cornyn at 24%. So Ken Paxton sitting in the lead there. And then in the head-to-head, it looks like Hunt would beat Paxton. That's interesting. Didn't see that one happening. Wow. And then Hunt would beat John Cornyn. And then Paxton versus Cornyn head-to-head. Obviously, Paxton wins comfortably. And this is all on the heels of John Cornyn spending millions of dollars already in this campaign push, in this primary campaign, to beat Ken Paxton and Wesley Hunt. So keep that in mind. And I've talked about this in a past video. John Cornyn and these RINOs are going to try to spin their way out of losing these primaries. And we have to keep in mind, just because we see them on our television screens, I am so-and-so, and I fully endorse this message. Like, no, don't buy into the nonsense. And I think we proved that in this past election. Just because you want to spend a boatload of money on ads does not mean that you're going to win. We are smarter than that. Just because you get in the ad and you say a bunch of nice things that we like to hear doesn't mean we're idiots and we're just gonna march in line right behind you just because you said some great things. Your actions actually matter, and these folks' actions have not matched what they have been saying. So yeah, be prepared next year to see a bunch of ads from these RINOs like John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham. I think I saw a poll where Lindsey Graham was losing in his primary race. Mitch McConnell is retiring. We'll see who replaces him. Bill Cassidy, he's got an F score. Let's see. Tom Cotton's good. Dan Sullivan, never heard of him before. He's got a 64%. Tom Tillis, he's got to go. North Carolina there. Let's see. Who else do we got? Cindy Hyde Smith, she's got to go. And of course, next year, as we get a little bit closer to primary season, I will be making videos on all of these individuals, if not a big joint video with all of these individuals and who they're running against and their opponents, and why I believe, obviously, they should be voted out. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to dig too deep into it right now, but you guys saw some of the names and some of the places that they are from. And I think it's going to get real interesting, because if we start getting rid of these RINOs the way that we should, I think that's really going to send a message to the John Thunes and the Chuck Grassleys of the world, right? That we aren't playing around anymore. This isn't the old Republican Party. No. This is the new Republican Party. Okay, this is an America First Republican Party, not the party of not the party of uniparty individuals who are just allowed to just stay in Washington, D.C. forever. Nah, we're done with that. And next year we can send a clear message by voting out people like John Cornyn and Lindsey Graham. That will go a long way in sending a massive message to these folks. And I think, hey, listen, once we vote out a few of these folks, I think the rest of them will get the message 100%. 100%. But that's just my humble opinion about it. Y'all can let me know how you feel in the comments. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.